upwards of 30 miles per hour at times. Showers and storms will be possible to the north and east for the evening hours. With Omaha's most accurate weather team, I'm 6 News meteorologist Peter Sherwood on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
Schrock Innovations presents Nebraska's #1 independent computer repair company with offices in Omaha and Lincoln. This is Compute This.
Alrighty, folks, welcome on into Compute This. My name is Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company with service centers in Lincoln, Omaha, and Papillion, and in 37 states across the United States. We don't have to have service centers there, but if you count the digital stuff, because everybody counts digital now, right? Digital counts. I mean, if you have a TV show, you get ratings. Like if somebody DVRs your show and watches it like 3 weeks later, then you get the rating, right? Well, you know, we have customers in 37 states through the Schrock desk from our Semantic Endpoint products. And you know, we have a lot of some snowbirds, actually, that come and go in the wintertime. They're here for now, and then they're gone later. But no, so and welcome to everybody on Facebook as well, facebook.com/Schrock Innovations. We need to recut the intro, I think. I mean, yes, we have service centers in Lincoln, Omaha, and Papillion, but it doesn't describe what we do. You know, it doesn't describe the fact that we help people that are, you know, outside of the geographical Nebraska area. So, you know, I don't know, is it pretentious to say like America's #1 independent computer repair company, helping people across the United States of America? Just saying. All right, 866-4. We already have an 800 number. Come on, 866-496-8772. Those are the numbers that you can call us this morning and be a part of the program. And of course, if you ask a question or make a comment, we'll put you in the drawing for a $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate. Good for anything your heart desires over at the service center there. Just a little thank you for joining in and being part of the show, because I can and will, if necessary, talk for an entire hour. The show is way more informative, though, if you ask me questions and I help you. You see how that works? Like, it's like free help. And you don't even have to call outside the country to get it, because, you know, we're #1 in America, you know? All right. So we got a fun show today, guys. This week, I was a little worried about the show this week because I was out camping with my scouts. It's summer camp time. And so, you know, last year they went to Minnesota for summer camp and did a quick meet and greet for all of our Minnesota customers. Well, I'm just kidding. No, but last year we went to Minnesota. This year we went to Fremont. So, you know, it's pretty cool, right? So, you know, we went to Camp Cedars. And I have to say, you know, the weather was a little bit rainy while I was there. I was only able to stay for about half the week. But I was a little worried about the program because, you know, I have to like stay up on the news throughout the week so that I can know the stories that we're going to talk about on the radio, because I kind of have to know what I'm talking about when I get on the radio and talk about the stories. Because you know what always happens? Like, the one time that I say I'm just going to hit the highlights, you know, because, you know, nobody really cares about the newest Intel vulnerability called Lazy State. Why do they call it Lazy State? Someone might abstractly wonder why it's called Lazy State, but no one's going to say, well, it's because the task switching can either be lazy or active. And what Intel found is by using Lazy State task switching, they were able to increase the speed of their processors by 67%. You know, but there's the one time I don't know that, there's going to be that guy. That guy is going to call, and his name is Keith, and he's going to call. I'm just messing with you, Keith. Welcome to the program. He's going to call, and he's going to say, so Thor, why do they call it Lazy State? And if I'm like, yeah, well, because they were too lazy to come up with a better name. Next caller, please. You know, then come on, that's not a good show. So I was a little worried about it, right? So I left summer camp on Wednesday afternoon. So I was there Sunday through Wednesday, left on Wednesday, got back home, you know, did a whole day getting rehumanized again. You know, you got to shave and take a shower and all that stuff, get all the dirt off of you, and then and get everything packed away. And then I went to work and, you know, learned everything I could learn about the stories we needed to cover, got prepped for the show, and everything was great. So my son came home from summer camp on Saturday and yesterday. And, you know, it was like, oh, welcome home. It was his first time like camping for more than like a night away from mom and dad. You know, he's 11. So we were like, you know, oh, wow. You know, he was a little homesick and he was glad to be home and he was putting his gear away and doing all the stuff. And usually when he comes back from summer camp, especially, you know, Camp Cedars isn't exactly known for its stellar culinary selections. I ate more peanut butter. I think at one point I was eating peanut butter straight out of like a peanut butter, those little peel off the lid, you know, things that you take your knife, like crackers and peanut butter. I think I was eating peanut butter like straight at one point because the food was, I picked up my pancake and like he went tink, tink, tink on the edge of the plate. Like, wow. The guy next to me is like, the secret is you gotta, pour the syrup on and let it sit for like, as he's chewing, 20 minutes, and then they become a little softer. I'm like, yeah. Or I could just hand them to the boy next to me who will eat them. I'll eat the sausages. They're almost cooked all the way through. I'm sure it's fine. I'm at camp. We have drop pots. What could go wrong? So I get back and he comes home. And usually his thing is like he gets back and like he sleeps for like an entire day. He, loads up on food and then goes to sleep for like a day, like a bear, and hibernates. So he does his thing. He loads up on food. He goes to sleep. He wakes up at 7:30 at night. And I went upstairs. I'm like, I ordered pizza last night. And my wife had girls' night last night. She had the kids all week long by herself. So she's going out for girls' night. So I've got the kids and, whatever, Jacob, hey, I ordered Papa John's, because you can use that Papa Slam coupon code and get 40% off. It's a good deal. So I went up there and, Jake, hey, come on down, buddy. It's time to eat. Nothing. No movement. I got a grunt and a rollover. I'm like, all right, whatever. I'll just put it in the fridge for him for later. So I eat my pizza. Katie eats her pizza. Lucas drinks his bottle, and I put the pizza away in the fridge. So 7:30, he comes down the stairs and he says, hi, Dad. I'm like, hey, buddy, there's some pizza in the fridge there if you want it. And he looks at me with the most confused look on his face. And I'm like, yeah, we had pizza for dinner. So your dinner's in the fridge. And he's like, are you messing with me? I'm like, no, there's really pizza. Why would I do that? There's pizza in the fridge. If you want to eat pizza, you can have some pizza in the fridge. And he goes, why are you telling me I can have pizza for breakfast? And I look at him and I'm thinking, we're in that weird time of year now where the sun looks about the same at 7:30 at night as it does at 7:30 in the morning. So he thought when he looked at the clock and it said 7:30, he thought it was 7:30 in the morning and Dad was telling him to eat pizza and garlic knots for breakfast. He thought he died and gone to heaven, some pizza rolls with that. So it was pretty funny. He actually had his clock reversed there a little bit. So I told him it was 7:30 at night, and then he's like, no, you're messing with me. And I'm like, no, it's 7:30 at night. Mom's out with her friends. I'm here with Lucas and you and Katie, and it's 7:30 at night, and you're going to go to bed. It's almost time for bed. He's like, oh, well, you don't really expect me to go to bed like at 9 o'clock, do you? And I'm like, I'll let you stay up a little bit later. So we did. And it gave me the opportunity to finish the preparations for the program today. 866-496-8772. Good morning, Janice. Good morning, Roger and Bill on Facebook. Glad to have you. You can join us as well on Facebook, facebook.com/Schrock Innovations. You don't have to have a Facebook account to watch the show there. You can just go there and watch it if you'd like. Also, if you do have a Facebook account, take a moment to click share and click like. I mentioned how we have customers in so many other states. The main reason we have those customers is because people listening on Facebook, just like you guys, clicked share and clicked like and followed and all that stuff, all the socially things you're supposed to do. And then we got some great followers there in other states who ended up hearing about the products and services that we have, or hearing about the things that they need to be aware of. Like, for example, we're going to answer a question for you today. And this is a pressing question because I tell you, at least half the computers that come into the service center for work have some sort of adhesive device affixed over the webcam, whether that be a Post-it note, a piece of black electrical tape. The other day, a woman came in with a $2,000 Microsoft Surface book, and there's a sticker. Best Buy had stuck a sticker on the top of it when she had it in over there for something. And so, as a courtesy, I was like, we don't really get too, it used to be back in the day, like, oh, that's somebody else's sticker. Let's peel that one off. And then, we don't really care anymore. If we're going to keep you as a customer, it's because we want to earn your business as a customer, not because we're going to take away your options to go back where you were before. But, this is a $2,000 computer, and I would be a little peeved if somebody stuck a great big, file folder label sticker right on the lid of my laptop. And we have spray that takes off like adhesive goo and stuff. So I offered to take the sticker off for her. And she said, sure. So we peel the sticker off, and there's her webcam under the sticker. Best Buy stuck a sticker on top of her webcam for her. So, it could have been done for you. You may have a webcam and not even know it. But here's the thing. Why do people do that? Because there's always that nagging little thought in the back of your head as you sit in front of your computer and do work. Is somebody watching me? Right now, is my webcam activated? I know there's supposed to be a blue light. Like right now, the camera that's filming me for Facebook, I've got blue lights on both sides of the camera, indicating that the camera is live. And at the end of the program, when I click end live video, the lights go out. The camera is off. Then, I can pick my nose and do all the stuff that you don't do on camera, right? Am I being watched? We're going to answer that question for you today. Also, I did mention that there's a new Intel vulnerability, guys. That was not a tongue-in-cheek joke. There is actually a new Intel hardware-based vulnerability called Lazy State that was uncovered this week. It's very similar to the Meltdown vulnerability that we've talked about at length over the past weeks and weeks and weeks of the program. What it allows the bad guys to do is it allows the bad guys to see everything you're doing on the computer, even if it's encrypted. So it allows the bad guys to basically do a man-in-the-middle attack before your stuff gets encrypted. So in English, what that means is when you're encrypting a file on your computer, whatever that, if you're buying a pizza from Papa John's, you're on a secure socket layer. Everything you type into your computer when it gets transmitted over the internet gets encrypted for your security, keeps your credit card information safe. So as you're typing that stuff in on the keyboard, the computer processes each keystroke and puts the appropriate character on the screen, right? This attack gets in the middle of that transaction. So basically, while you're typing on the keyboard and it's translating and putting it on the screen before it gets encrypted and sent off on the internet, that's where this vulnerability allows the bad guys to see. So it allows them to see your passwords. It allows them to see everything you might type in. It allows them to see anything that comes up on the screen as well. So it's a pretty significant vulnerability. It does only impact Intel processors. So as a result, if you have a Schrock modular computer, I believe the number of, we don't have very many Schrock modular computers that run Intel processors. We'll do it if a customer really wants an Intel processor, we'll build one. And I think there was one holiday special we did 3 years ago that had a Pro version that came with an Intel processor. Other than that, if you have a Schrock Innovations modular, like a desktop computer, you don't even have to worry about this because it does not impact your processor at all. It only impacts Intel processors. It will get patched, and unfortunately, the explanation I gave earlier about why they call it lazy state, you don't need to know all that. What you need to know is when they came up with this lazy state task switching, it sped up Intel processors significantly, like 60% faster. So what do you think is going to happen when they turn it off? The good news is that Windows 10 has already mitigated this. So this hardware vulnerability does not impact you if you are running any version of Windows 10. Because Windows 10 does not make use of lazy state task switching. So as a result, if you have Windows 7, if you still have Windows Vista, for heaven forbid, if you're running Windows XP or Windows 8, something like that, then you are impacted by this vulnerability, and your computer, once patched, will run significantly slower, once again, than it did before. This will be the third time you've received a patch that's made your computer run significantly slower than before the patch. You might think it's a conspiracy. It looks like a conspiracy, but it's actually just making your computer more secure. I can't say this enough, guys. If you're running Windows XP still, and I know most of the people who are still running XP are I'm not trying to be insulting here, but they're really, really old people. And they're at a point in their lives where, we're talking like 94, 95. They're at a point in their lives where learning a new operating system is a lot to ask of them. And so their kids, grandkids, we have people come in all the time and they say, I know it's Windows XP. Literally all he does is get on Facebook with this thing. And if it gets infected, we'll pay to have it fixed. He's just at a point, he can't learn a new operating system. Will you please fix it for him? And so we do. But you really, if at all possible, you need to get off of that XP. It is not secure. If at all possible, you need to get away from Windows Vista. It is not secure. If at all possible, you need to get off of Internet Explorer, the Blue E browser, not to be confused with Edge, because why would we need to come up with a new logo? But if you're using the Internet Explorer browser, that's been a dead browser for years, and it's very heavily used among government employees. I mean, literally, it's like the #1 browser among state and federal employees. If you've ever given a presentation, here's just a pro tip. If you're giving a software presentation to government representatives, don't say we're not going to test this with Internet Explorer because only morons use Internet Explorer. You're not going to get the job. I won't tell you why I know that. 866-496-8772. So we have the lazy state vulnerability, and the cryptojackers are taking advantage of vulnerabilities just like that. What is cryptojacking? Is if you don't have enough to worry about on your day-to-day basis, used to be if they infected you with a virus, it was used to send you spam. You send spam email or put ads up on your screen or, tell other people in the office that you love them, to spread and do all kinds of mayhem. Now what they want to do is they want to infect your computer with a virus that uses your computer's processor and graphics card to mine cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrencies are things like Bitcoin or more popularly Monero or Ethereum. And so they're going to mine that with your computer. And there was an estimate that came out that said something like 30% of all the Monero that has ever been mined. Monero is a cryptocurrency. Kind of like, if you said 30% of all the Deutschmarks ever minted, something like that. Monero, 30% of the Monero currency that's in circulation was mined using viruses on people's hardware without their knowledge. So what this does is it uses a lot of power. You'll notice your power bill go up a little bit, and you'll notice your computer gets really, really slow because this viruses are mining cryptocurrency using your processor and your graphics card to solve really complex math problems to earn them money rather than earning you money. So you got to watch out for those. That's a big increasing. That's what the current thing is. That's what the objective is. If you say, why are people infecting me? What do they plan to get from me? That's what they plan to get from you. They plan to make literally, 13 or 14 cents a month off your computer. That's all you're worth. Now, if you have a venture, you could have a graphics card in there, one of the Schrock Innovations modular venture computers, you might be worth like 22 cents a month, okay? But if you infect hundreds and hundreds of thousands of computers and get them all working at the same time, you can make a little bit of money at this. So that's a pretty big deal. Now, one of the things, before we go to our first break here, we always talk about antivirus and rankings, and we're talking a lot about security in this segment. But antivirus and rankings, no one ever ranks Symantec Endpoint, which is what we recommend. That's the business grade business grade antivirus product that Symantec makes. They're the makers of the Norton products. But Symantec Endpoint is what we recommend at Schrock. But because it's business grade, nobody ever ranks it. They always rank the Norton products, and we have to kind of say, well, it's kind of like the Norton products, so it ranks there. They finally did a ranking of all of the Symantec, of all the business grade products, and Symantec is in the top 3. There was only 3 products that, how the Consumer Reports does the circles, and like you can get a full circle. If you get full circles all the way across, then you're good. And you can get half circles if you go kind of sort of, or you get no circles if you don't do it at all. There were 3 products that had all their circles fully colored in, and Symantec Endpoint was one. Kaspersky was the other, their business software, and then Trend Micro's business software was third. So Symantec Endpoint is the real deal. Given everything that's going on, as I was reading all the news and I saw that we have a serious, security thing, and there is a piece of malware out there, guys, that's using your webcams. We're going to talk about that in the next segment here. Given all the security stuff that's going on, it's really important. We haven't really expressed the importance that you get good antivirus software, not the stuff that your internet service provider gives you. That's not good. It's garbage. Not Windows Defender, as we've talked ad nauseum. It's the bare minimum to keep your computer safe, barely, sometimes. You really need good antivirus software. Symantec Endpoint is one of the best you can buy. Now, unfortunately, it's a little pricey. It's $160 the first year and then $60 to renew it each additional year. So the renewals are a little bit cheaper than renewing other products. But that first up front, because you're getting the virus-free guarantee and it's active protection, we'll talk about this in the next segment, it's a huge benefit. So it's worth the price. So here's what we're going to do. 1 week only at Schrock. We are going to discount our Symantec Endpoint software to $99. That's the installed price instead of $160. So it's like $60 off the regular installed price. The price has already been lowered on our website at SchrockInnovations.com. If you don't want to come in with the computer, you can always buy it on the website online and install it yourself at home. You will get full support, so if you have any issues, of course, we'll use the Schrock Desk to help you out. Doesn't matter where you're located. You can be right here in Omaha, Lincoln, Papillion, or you could be up at Camp Many Point in Minnesota. If you're on your way to Many Points right now, you could do this from Many Points. They have Wi-Fi at the admin building. If you're at Camp Cedars this week, they have Wi-Fi in the dining hall that seems to turn off on meal times. That someone got tricky with their router programming there. The Wi-Fi goes suddenly unavailable during meal times when the kids are there. But then afterwards, when the adults are around, it comes back up. So you can literally do this from anywhere. All right, 866-496-8772. We coming up here, we've got Bill and Ken, your calls. Plus, is your camera on your computer secretly recording you? There's a new piece of malware out there that might be doing just that right now. We're going to tell you what it is and how you can protect yourself from it coming up next on Compute This. And see, this is a human error. Coming up next on Compute This.
Schrock Innovations can't teleport technicians to you, but online help is only a click away with the Schrock Desk. Subscribe today and get unlimited help whenever you need it. External hard drives are handy. You can back up multiple computers to them or even use them to move lots of data from one computer to another. Computer users have been buying the same old external hard drives for years. While our computers have been getting faster, we still do backups that take hours or watch epic progress bars creep by to move files. Schrock wanted more for our customers, so our innovators created the fastest external hard drives on the planet. Schrock modular storage devices are up to 50% faster than Seagate or Western Digital externals and are modular in the truest sense of the word. We can create whatever size and speed of drive you need for all of your needs. And all modular storage devices come with a data restoration guarantee. If you use our drives for backing up and your computer's hard drive fails, we'll restore your backup to your repaired computer for free. Fast, simple, and flexible technology solutions from Schrock Innovations. It's what we do. Compute This Pro Tip 299. There are enough mothballed computers in U.S. homes to give one to every man, woman, and child in the country. Many of these computers find their way into landfills where they can leak cadmium, lithium, and other nasty chemicals into the groundwater. Schrock Innovations is very proud of the fact that we recycle more e-waste every year than we create. You can drop off any old or broken computer equipment to our service centers at any time, free of cost. We only charge $15 just for monitors because they are especially difficult to process. No appointment is required, and we accept all computer-related equipment like printers, keyboards, speakers, and accessories. Additionally, the rare earth elements in computers can be recycled right here in the U.S. to reduce our reliance on supplies from foreign countries. Take a moment, drop off your old computer equipment today, and Schrock will make sure it's properly recycled and put to good use right here in the U.S. This pro tip brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
Alrighty, folks, welcome back into Compute This. My name's Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company with service centers in Lincoln, Omaha, and Papillion, and across the United States of America via the Schrock Desk. 866-496-8772. First caller of the show is Bill. Welcome to the program, Bill. How can I help you today on Compute This?
Well, this is Bill. I'm holding, but I wanted to ask Thor about the VPN and protecting me on a public Wi-Fi.
Well, you're in luck, Bill. In his benevolent wisdom, Thor has agreed to take your call. So I'm going to place you on hold for just a moment. And then when we come back to you here, the wise and all-knowing Thor Schrock will be here to help you. But don't take too much of his time, okay?
All righty.
All right, I'm going to put you on hold here.
Thank you.
No sweat. All right, and welcome to the program, Bill. How can I help you today on Compute This? Hello, Bill.
Good morning, Thor.
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Thor. I'm wonderful.
What can I do for you today, Bill?
Since retiring, I travel a lot, and I wind up with Endpoint warning me a lot that I'm on an open network and I'm not secure.
Oh, yeah.
Will a VPN or some other software protect me from the nasty people out there?
Gotcha. So what endpoint, semantic endpoint, one of the things it does is it goes so far beyond antivirus, it's not even funny. It does all the antivirus stuff, but it also warns you, like you said, about things like when you connect, like I was at Starbucks the other day, which I have to do this more often because like I needed to get some desk work done. And if I go to one of the service centers, it's like a constant bombardment of just employees with questions and things, stuff happens. But I was able to focus for like an hour, and I got more done in that hour than I would have gotten done all day in the shop. So it's like one day a week, I need to designate like Starbucks day where I get a great big double espresso and I get like a lot done in an hour. Okay. But I joined the Wi-Fi at the cafe, and it came up and said, this is an endpoint warned me you're connected to an unsecured Wi-Fi. So as a result, when you're connected to an unsecured Wi-Fi, it's been a while since we talked about this, but let's just say somebody named Sorthrock wanted to like prove a point, I could take my phone out of my pocket and turn on my mobile hotspot. And I could name my mobile hotspot Google Starbucks, which is what theirs is named. And I can set it on the table, and half the people in there are going to connect to my smartphone rather than the network. Now, because it's an open Wi-Fi and there's no encryption, anything that those people type into their computers and send, like their Google usernames, passwords, things like that, those all go through my phone now. So now I'm a man in the middle. I can steal all those passwords and all that good information off there. I can see your bank records. I can see anything that you're transmitting through my open network because I'm running the network. So that's one of the things, that's what it was warning you about, is that you're not protected. Your protection level is lower because you're on an open network as opposed to a secured network. Now, a VPN, what a VPN does, it's called a virtual private network. And they're getting popular because of all the belief that VPN software will completely anonymize anything you do on the internet, and you can do anything and no one will ever know. That's not entirely true. A lot of these VPN services out there, especially the less expensive ones, have been shown to be kind of skirting their protections a little bit, not really protecting you as much as they say they are. But a VPN, what it does is it anonymizes your traffic. So then when you are typing in a search on Google for something, let's say you were searching for Schrock Innovations. Do they have service centers in Minnesota? I heard him talking about Minnesota. And so you search for that. Well, if you're on an open network, anybody can see that you've searched for that. If you're using a VPN on an open network, nobody knows what you typed in because it got shotgunned out to 4 or 5 different computers in different geographic locations, reassembled, and then searched from a different place. So nobody really knows it was you that did the search. The only downside to this is, of course, VPNs cost money. You have to subscribe to a VPN. The ones that are free or that come with antivirus products are usually really, 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 really slow. That's the secondary thing. Taking all your requests and shotgunning them to other places and then putting them back together and sending them through to the internet and then shotgunning the response and then transmitting it all back to you, that takes time. So VPNs are going to slow down your communication quite a bit. So yes, VPN will improve your protection. There are different qualities of VPN. So before you buy a VPN, or you usually pay monthly for it, before you decide to purchase one, I would do your homework, read the reviews, and make sure that the VPN service that you're buying is legitimate. But keep in mind, it is going to slow your internet connection down a little bit. So if you already have a slow connection, something like DSL out in the country or satellite internet, or you use a Verizon hotspot, something like that for your internet, this is going to make your internet unbearably slow. I would recommend against it at that point.
Okay. Would you recommend a VPN, a particular VPN, or stick your neck out? You're
traveling a lot. It's a situation by situation basis. If you're going to be traveling a lot and using a lot of open networks, it wouldn't be a bad idea. If you're mostly at home on your secured Wi-Fi in your house, there's no need to spend the extra $30 to $50 a month for a high-quality VPN.
Okay.
All right, thanks for the call, Bill. Hey, I appreciate you taking the time to give us a call. And thanks for playing along there. I was just messing with you there in the beginning. That was me the whole time, Bill. All right, 866-496-8772. Stay on the lines, Ken and Linda. Your calls, as well as, is your webcam actually watching you? Answer, yes. We're going to tell you what you got to do about it coming up next on Compute This.
If you can dream it, Schrock Interactive's website developers can make it happen. Refresh your website, automate sales and marketing, and grow your business today with Schrock Interactive. Schrock Innovations has spent nearly 2 decades working to make your technology life easier, and the all-new SchrockInnovations.com is no exception. Now you can order new modular computers and solid-state laptops directly from our website, secure your computer with our virus-free guaranteed semantic endpoint software, find innovative new technologies like our modular storage devices, and get free help and tips. Take a look at the specials section to find sales on one-of-a-kind items, display models, refurbished units, and our latest special offers. Swing by the Compute This page to watch TV segments and archived radio shows, or even get one-on-one help through the Schrock Desk. As always, we respect your privacy, so we secure our website with the latest encryption technology and only the most secure payment methods. You can pick up your purchases at any of our 3 service centers or have them shipped directly to your door. The new SchrockInnovations.com makes technology simple. It's what we do. Compute this pro tip 843. Of all computer failures, the scariest and most expensive is the hard drive. But there are some steps you can take to save money and save your data before it's too late. Detecting failures early is important, so install a free utility like Drive Advisor from driveadvisor.com to monitor your hard drive's health and receive warnings when there's a problem. But most of all, hard drive failures happen slowly, so early detection is key to reducing the repair bill. Second, if your hard drive makes any unusual noises, immediately turn off your computer and do not turn it on again. These issues are physical problems, and the more you try to use it, the worse the damage becomes. Remember that most computer repair shops do not have the specialized equipment needed to recover data from a failed drive. Never open your drive or allow anyone else to do so. Opened drives always cost more to recover. Schrock does not charge for data recovery evaluations and quotes, so let the local pros look at your drive before you make any recovery decisions. This pro tip brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
Fox News Radio, I'm Debbie Hanley. A very chaotic scene before 3 a.m. as multiple people were shot during an all-night art event in Trenton, New Jersey. The suspect was killed, 20 people injured, 4 critical. The U.S. has apparently ignited a potential trade war with China.
China also announced that all trade agreements made between the two countries during recent negotiations would be void because of the new U.S. tariffs.
Fox's John Decker. McDonald's is rolling out paper straws at its restaurants in London to combat plastic pollution.
McDonald's says plastic straws will begin to disappear from restaurants in the UK and Ireland in September to be replaced with paper alternatives. The burger chain is the latest in a series of businesses in the UK to move away from the utensils.
Fox's Simon Owen. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Now, the News Radio 1110 KFAB Weather Watch.
Clouds will increase on Father's Day, but it will still be hot. Our afternoon temperatures will reach 97 degrees, with those strong winds still moving out of the south, gusting upwards of 30 miles per hour at times. Showers and storms will be possible to the north and east for the evening hours. With Omaha's most accurate weather team, I'm 6 News meteorologist Peter Sherwood on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
All right, I can't believe we're already halfway through the show. There's so much left to talk about. I have this list of things to talk about today, and I'm not even halfway through it, but yet we're halfway through the show. So throughout the week, these articles will be posted on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Schrock Innovations. So if I don't get to something on the list and I've talked about it, the article will pop up there on our Facebook feed. Just check that out, facebook.com/Schrock Innovations, and you can stay up to date on everything you need to know to freak your world out. 866-496-8772. Let's jump back into those phones. Ken, welcome back to the program. How can I help you on Compute This? Hello, Ken. Ken, are you with me? Or were you abducted? All right, let's put Ken back on hold there, and then let's jump into Linda. Linda, how can I help you on Compute This?
Well, I have a question. The other day I heard you talking about NCTUE.
Oh, yeah. Yes, yes.
Can you explain that a little more to me?
Yeah, absolutely. So this week, there was a story that came out about bad guys, a new type of identity theft, where they go out and they actually buy a cell phone in your name. So they go out to this. Think about the last time you bought a cell phone. What did you have to show them for ID? You didn't. You just walked in, you filled out the form, you handed it to them, and then they processed your thing and you got a phone. Well, how do they know that's you? Well, a lot of people think, well, they run a background check or a credit check or something, but they don't use like Experian or anybody like that. They use the National Consumer Telecom and Utilities Exchange. So what the cell phone companies are concerned about are, do you pay your utility bills on time? And if you do, that you're likely to also pay your cell phone bill on time. And so that's the credit check actually that happens. Now, a lot of people don't realize this because everybody got so upset about Facebook selling all of their information, that they don't realize that your utility company, your cable company, your power company, your phone company, they've been selling your personal information for decades. And they still do. All those pre-approved credit card offers you get in the mail, a lot of people don't know how expensive it is to run a credit check through Experian. It can be as much as like $15 per request. So they don't do that when they send out 100,000 pre-approved credit card offers. They actually go to the National Consumer Telecom and Utilities Exchange and say, well, people who pay their utility bills on time are also likely to pay minimum payments on their credit card bills on time. So they could be pre-approved for a credit card. So that's where a lot of that junk mail comes from. So basically, the thing to do here is if you want to prevent someone from getting a cell phone in your name, basically, and running up a big bill and then walking away and then getting you stuck with this bill, the NCTUE maintains a file on you. And you can go to their website at nctue.com. That is, I'm going to put it on our Facebook page here too, nctue.com. You can go there and you can actually, for free, you have to do it through the postal mail, of course, because, you know, I'm sure that when people buy the list, they send them like a giant phone book sized piece of paper. No, they send them a digital file, but you can't request your file digitally. You have to request it through snail mail. So you send them a request, they'll send you back everything they have on you. But you can also go onto their website and you can request to have a freeze put on your NCTUE file, which means if somebody requests it, they won't give it out. And as a result, if they don't give it out, you don't get your cell phone. You know, you don't get the pre-approved credit card offers anymore, stuff like that. Then you have to call in. If you're going to go get a new phone, you have to notify the NCTUE that you're going to get a new phone. They give you like a PIN number. You give them the PIN number, and they turn off the freeze for 24 hours so you can go get a phone. So it's one of those things where there was a Consumer Reports alert about it because something like 3,400 people across the entire country were hit last year with this. But it is rapidly growing. We went from virtually 0 to 3,400 in a year. So once criminals find out that people are willing or can be hit by this, it's going to become more prevalent. So it's something that I wanted to at least make sure you guys had on your radar.
Okay. Thank you.
Hey, no sweat. This is what we do. All right. 866-496-8772. So your webcam, is it watching you or not? Well, the answer is quite possibly yes. There is a new, the title of this article is Time to Cover Your Webcam. The stealthy spyware records video and what a lot of people forget, and audio. Everybody covers the webcam. Nobody covers the microphone. Yeah. So everybody's getting out the tape. Here it comes. Sneaky malware is highly targeted and goes out of the way to avoid detection, and nobody knows how it infects its victims. So this stuff is super targeted, guys. This is not infecting the masses at this point. It's just a matter of time, though. But the funny thing is this malware has been out there and infecting people since 2013. 2013. And they still don't know where it comes from. They don't know who's doing it, how people are getting it on their computers, how they're contracting it. I did take a moment to check, though. Semantic Endpoint does have definitions that protect you against, yes, this is the real name, Invisimole. It sounds like something like a beauty care product, doesn't it? Invisimole, the new mole removal product. You apply twice daily to your face and watch your moles disappear. So Invisimole. Or if I'm going to go this weekend and see the Incredibles 2. They have the Underminer is the bad guy in the start of that movie. It sounds like something from Incredibles. Invisimole. But no, this thing dubbed Invisimole has been active since 2013, but has only just been uncovered. So it's been around since 2013, but it was security companies just recently found it. That means your webcam could have been recording you since 2013. Wow. All right. The malware turns the affected computer into a video camera, letting attackers see and hear what's going on in the victim's office or wherever the device might be. Now, highly targeted. Let's say, what is highly targeted? Highly targeted is we want to infect we want to know what the jobs report is going to be before the jobs report comes out. So we're going to infect a computer in the room that has a view or a microphone in the room, so we know what the jobs report is going to be, so we can go out and trade that out front. This is like state spycraft, guys. This is when they say highly targeted, they mean like we're targeting captains of industry. I bet you Jeff Bezos was targeted at some point by this. We want to know what Amazon's going to do next. Is he going to keep Whole Foods? Is he going to get rid of it? We need to know if we're going to have our bananas or not. So let's turn his camera into a spy cam and find out if he's going to keep the bananas. Invisimole is a fully equipped spyware whose rich capabilities can surely compete with other espionage tools in the wild. That's a malware analyst from ESET, not Susanna, but Zuzana with a Z. Wow. Such under the radar nature of Invisimole that researchers are still uncertain about is how the payload is delivered to target machines, with all the infection vectors currently deemed possible, including physical access to the computer itself. So it could be something as simple as there's a guy walking in with a flash drive and installing this on people's computers. They don't know how you get it yet, but Symantec can detect it. There's a set of files. Symantec Endpoint is one of the 3 antivirus products on the market that can detect Invisible. So here's the thing. If you have Endpoint on your computer, you don't have to cover your webcam. You can enjoy your webcam in your full beauty, moles and all, because Symantec Endpoint's keeping you safe. If, on the other hand, you're running something that's not quite as good, something like McAfee, or even the other Norton products like Norton Antivirus, not like Norton Security, but like the older Norton Antivirus or Norton 360, if you're still running that, that's been dead since 2015. If you're running one of those products, or AVG, or Avast, or something like that, those don't necessarily all detect Invisible among a host of other infections. Normally, if somebody comes into the shop and they have AVG, Avast, McAfee installed, we ask them if they want to authorize a virus removal before we even scan the computer. We won't do it, obviously, if there's not a virus, but odds are, if you got one of those 3, you got a virus. So basically, guys, this is something to be aware of. You know, I'm sure me telling you this is you're going to say, well, Thor, they didn't know about this till recently. It's been going on since 2013. So what are the odds that there's other stuff they don't know about? I think I'm just going to keep the tape on the webcam. Totally understandable. But the thing to be aware of is that Symantec Endpoint is out there to keep you safe. And we have it on special right now, 1 week only, in the service center and on our website at SchrockInnovations.com. Normally, it's $160 for a full year. What that gets you for the first year, and then after that, it's $60 each additional year to renew it. But what that $160 gets you, number one, installation support. I've mentioned Kaspersky, the Russian-made antivirus, before. It's good stuff. It works really well. Maybe they know ahead of time where the viruses are coming from. I don't know. But their stuff works well. The only problem that some consumers have with it is it's a little difficult to install. Well, with Symantec Endpoint, it's super easy to install. And if you have trouble installing it, or there's some issue afterwards where you think something's not working right, or maybe you forgot to uninstall your AVG before you installed Endpoint. Well, you don't need 2 antivirus programs. It actually slows your computer down dramatically. If you have questions like that, you have full installation support from Schrock. We're here to help you do it. We'll get on the Schrock desk and install it for you. You don't even have to do it yourself if you don't want to. If you buy it from our website at SchrockInnovations.com, we even took the time, our Schrock Interactive guys built an installing shell that automatically installs it on your computer for you. You don't have to download it again. You don't have to do anything. It installs it. It lines it up with our systems, gets you put where you need to be, and boom, you are protected and good to go. So it's a really, really nice way to keep your computer safe. Not only that, but it's active protection. And in a nutshell, everybody else is passive protection. Passive protection means they wait till you get infected or till an event happens, like an infection at that moment is trying to get into your computer. And then it pops up on the screen and asks you, what do you want to do? Now, let's just assume for the moment that, you know, your 16-year-old niece isn't in front of the computer trying to look at her Justin Bieber, album lyrics. Well, let's just assume that there's an actual adult in front of the computer who can make informed, intelligent decisions without having to, to make a mistake or next, recommended, whatever. Do you want to exclude it? Do you want to delete it? Do you want to quarantine it? Don't click the wrong one. The wrong one is exclude, by the way. If you click exclude, it leaves it on the computer and never detects it again. So that's bad. Endpoint doesn't ask you any questions. It just does it. If it has a question to ask, it asks us in the service center. If you call us, if you say, hey, I think my computer is infected, what do? I paid for this antivirus software, and now I think my computer is infected. Well, guess what? Now you can call us because you have a full virus-free guarantee. If you even think you're infected with a virus, give us a call at the service centers. We will remote into the computer and execute a scan, double-check everything. We'll even scan you with a couple other programs just to make sure that there's no doubt that Endpoint's doing its job. And when it comes back clean, you're good to go. If there's a problem with the Endpoint, we fix it for you. We resolve it for you. We're not going to transfer you to India or make you sit on hold for 6 hours and wait. It's really, really good software, and it's really, really good award-winning support. and it's on sale right now. Instead of the $160 normally to get started, it's only $99 to get started. And it's $60 a year to renew it, which is actually less than what Kaspersky charges for a renewal. 866-496-8772 is the number. We're going to take our final break of the program. Ken is back. And Paul, your calls are coming up next on Compute This.
Drive Advisor is a free program from Schrock Innovations that monitors your hard drive's health and tells you if it's going bad. Download it for free at driveadvisor.com. Some people like desktops for their power and upgradability, but nothing rivals a laptop for computing on the go. But why should you have to sacrifice performance for portability? The innovators at Schrock want our customers to have it all, so we created a new kind of laptop, the solid-state laptop from Schrock Innovations. Solid-state laptops are built using the same frame and mainboards as regular laptops, but we've removed half of the moving parts while more than doubling the computer's speed. The result? Laptops that boot to Windows in 6 seconds or less, respond instantly to your commands, and can survive drops that put most laptops into the data recovery lab. Starting at only $499, solid-state laptops give you speed, reliability, durability, and performance for the same price most people pay for a cheap disposable laptop. The next time you're looking for a laptop, check out the solid-state laptops at SchrockInnovations.com or visit any of our service centers. Simple, solid, fast technology is what we do at Schrock. Compute This Pro Tip 578. Technology is constantly changing, so how can you tell when the time has come to recycle your old outdated computer and invest in a new one? Experts have rules of thumb and formulas, but Schrock believes the answer is simple. You should replace your old computer when it can no longer do the things you need in a secure way. For example, you should not be using operating systems like Windows XP or Vista because they're no longer maintained by Microsoft and they're not secure. And if your computer cannot run Windows 10, it's probably time to begin saving for a replacement. If your existing computer requires a repair and that cost is 50% or more of the cost of a new computer, it might be time to consider a replacement. But keep in mind, additional costs like data transfers and important software you have to upgrade like genealogy software or Quicken. And also keep in mind that modern computers are engineered to last 18 months for a normal user. And don't worry, you are considered a normal user. Schrock modular PCs and solid-state laptops are specifically designed to last 4 to 6 years for that same normal user, saving your family money and time. This pro tip brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
Alrighty, guys, final segment. Man, this hour has blown by, but there is good news. There is hope for your future. There's a billboard. As I drive to work, sometimes I see this billboard. It says, "There is hope for your future." It's like a church billboard. And I was like, that's such a positive, like, seriously, that's a positive message. Like, if you were in a low spot right then and you drive past that billboard and see, like, there's hope for your future. I mean, I know it sounds cheesy, guys, but that's a cool billboard. So there is hope for your future, guys. We are going to be doing an aftershock this week. We haven't had one the last couple of weeks because I've had places I needed to go and things I needed to get done. And this week, after the official end of the show here at the end of the hour, we will end the broadcast on Facebook, and then we will begin a new broadcast because for whatever reason, Facebook requires you to do that. Otherwise, they just end your broadcast. So we're going to end the broadcast. We're going to start a new one. It's going to be the Aftershock. And that's your opportunity to ask me a bunch of questions that maybe you didn't feel like asking on the air. If you want to ask, how was the food at Camp Cedars? Stuff like that. We can talk about all the stuff that's completely unrelated. Great a side comment by Thomas on Facebook was talking about ultrasonic attacks, with viruses. Read a great story yesterday about, if you've heard about the diplomats in China and Cuba that have been like brain damaged by what they believe are acoustic attacks. They could actually have, they're thinking now is these are ultrasonic attacks. And they're trying to actually control their cell phones and things through ultrasonic signals. And when you start reading what goes on ultrasonically, ads on TV all have ultrasonics in them because they can trigger your phone so that they know if like they put an ad on TV for Ford trucks. I'm not saying Ford does this. I'm just using it as an example because I love Ford trucks. But if they put an ad up for Ford trucks and then they have an ultrasonic tone in there, then later on your phone you Google Ford trucks, they know that you saw the commercial and you Googled it on your phone. It's super creepy. So we can talk about that during the Aftershock as well. 866-496-8772. Ken is back, and welcome into the program, Ken. How can I help you today on Compute This?
I've got those stupid questions about I have Roadrunner Spectrum on my desktop, and I've got a Kinetic deal on my TV. There's no computer to my flat screen. I have like for the recommendations that my wife, I traded in my old computer, which I dearly loved. It's been upgraded to 10.
Okay.
Can I buy back my computer? Do you have a recommendation to buy a tablet? You know, it's stupid questions like that. Upgrades have left me out in the wind.
Gotcha. So help me understand what's going on here.
Okay.
You're trying to get a smart TV going.
I've got a dumb TV.
Okay.
It's about 7 years old with 4 HDMI controls.
Okay.
I've got the ultimate upgrade that I'm finally getting accustomed to using. I'm so accustomed to my old desktop. Is it available to buy back, or do you just recommend another, like a laptop or something? I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
Gotcha. So you're talking about like a media computer, basically. So first of all, whether or not your old computer is still available at the shop, it's a factor of time. It depends how long we've had it. We don't keep them very long, usually less than a week before they get recycled.
I understand. It's gone. It's gone. I understand that.
As far as a media computer, though, for the TV, that's not hard to do, actually. There's actually entire computers that are made specifically for this task. They're called media PCs. They're usually pretty small. They're about 8 inches by 8 inches square and about 2 inches tall.
Looks like the little tablets, in other words, like
it's kind of like a tablet, but it's thicker. It's a full computer. It's got a motherboard in it. It's got a hard drive in it. But then once you have these media computers, you can do all kinds of stuff. It acts like a DVR. You can record TV with it.
I'm already paying for a DVR. I can record, yada, yada, yada. It's just,
what if you had a DVR and you didn't have to pay for it anymore?
Well, I'd probably save more. I got in on the discount program, when they offered it and I can record, maybe not the world's best deal, but
gotcha. Well, here's the answer to the question is it can be done. We can hook up a computer to the TV, and then you can have, Netflix, YouTube, Hulu, Amazon Prime, all the smart TVs.
Like the Amazon chip or the Hulu chip, etc., and pay. Anyway, that basically answers my question.
There you go. Get a Fire Stick, and you'll be good to go.
My wife says, if it's working, don't try to fix it.
There you go. She is a wise woman. You tell her I said that.
Don't encourage her. She appreciates the call from Schrock. She was very impressed that Thor called her. She said, "This is Thor."
Yep. I get that a lot when I actually go to the shop and actually work. I actually help people, and they're like, "I can't believe you're calling me," and I'm like, "But this is what I did long before the radio show." I just anyway.
Is you really the Thor person that I'm speaking with?
This is the same Thor person, yes.
Well, we appreciate your service and enjoyed them, but sometimes the frustration factor leads me back to 12 gauge or 38 specials. I mean, you've never heard that. And my cup holder is never broken.
There you go. Thanks for the call, Ken. I appreciate it.
Hey, you have a great day. Appreciate your summertime enjoyment.
All right. Thanks a lot. 866-496-8772. Paul's next up on the program. Paul, how can I help you on Compute This today?
Yeah. You don't stream the show while the person is holding online?
On Facebook, you mean?
No, on the telephone.
I'm sure. I think they do.
I missed the last 10 minutes of your show. Could you please repeat that so I can listen to what knowledge you dispense?
I only have 3.5 minutes left, though, so I can't.
Okay.
I'd have to talk very, very quickly.
All right, back to my question. Is there any place on your website or your Facebook page which tells a customer how busy the workbench is?
That's a great question. At this time, there is not. You see, back in the old school days, when I started, that information was very, very prized because your competitors will look and see how you're doing. How we could judge how successful your shop is going by how full your benches are. Now, see, we're at the point where we've grown to the point where we don't really care. It's not a secret that we have a lot of work in the bench. But I can tell you right now, a current status report, for whatever reason, it was crickets in the Omaha Service Center yesterday. We didn't check in a single computer yesterday in Omaha, and they've got the bench down to about 12% capacity because they finished a lot of the stuff that was in there. So the Omaha Service Center is ready and able to turn your computers over very quickly right now. The Lincoln Service Center is in a small queue, not very big, but it's going to take a day for your thing to get on the bench probably if you go to Lincoln. And in Papillion, we have about 25% of the bench spots available right now. So Omaha and Papillion both have open bench spots. Lincoln is in queue, but it's not a bad queue right now.
Thank you for the information. And I want to thank Chris. I believe 2 weeks ago I called and I went through your phone system about 4 times,
Yep.
Leave a message or whatever. And finally he picked up and said there were 3 benches full, 3 laptops, and 2 towers on the floor. So now would not be a good time to bring it in.
Yep, there's a lot of times people call for
I pulled him away from what he was doing.
Yeah, a lot of times people will call in because they want to use their preventative maintenance certificate, for example, or something like that, and they want a quick turnaround time. And that's the easiest way to handle that. In fact, one of the reasons why you were stuck in phone circle, basically the phone system will pick up the phone and then put you on hold automatically so the technician doesn't have to do it, so they can finish helping the customer at the front desk or whatever phone call they're on. The phones in Lincoln, I mean, we have 4 phone lines and they're banging down there. So we actually just transferred Drake from the Omaha Service Center. He just moved to Lincoln to pitch in and help out down there a little bit, so your hold times are a little bit less long, and that this queue gets processed a little more quickly so that we can get your computers turned around a little bit faster. So I would suggest taking a look again here probably Wednesday. You can call into the shop too and ask the same question, or you can email and we'll give you that info as well.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Paul. Appreciate it. All right. And then really quick, I have about a minute left. Debbie, what can I do for you on Compute This?
Hi. I was just wondering, does the endpoint protect also the Mac Pro kind of?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. The only thing with Macs is you have to have a pretty modern version of the Mac OS X operating system. If you have an iMac from like 2009, it's not going to run it. But if you have anything that's in the last 5 to 6 years, we have an endpoint for Mac. You don't buy that on our website. You call into the service center, and we're open Saturday from 10 to 8, Sunday from noon to 5. But you can call in, and we can do that right over the Schrock desk. You don't have to bring your Mac in or anything.
Oh, okay, great. All right, thank you.
Hey, no sweat, Debbie. This is what we do. And that's a great point. I didn't mention, if you have a Mac, you really do need antivirus software on your Mac. I mentioned that PC users are worth about 22 cents a head if you have a really nice computer. Mac users go for 50 cents a head. Because once they get infected, they don't run antivirus, so they stay infected. And they mine cryptocurrencies all day long. Oh, yeah. All right. So in the Aftershock coming up, there is a mountain of stuff we didn't get to. Teslas are exploding in traffic, but don't worry, they're going to be fully autonomous in August. That means they're going to drive themselves in August. Etsy, if you buy on Etsy, there are going to be some more fees there. Apple apparently suddenly remembers that the Mac exists, and they made a bunch of commercials about the computer they haven't upgraded in 2 years. We're going to talk about that. Let's see, we talked about cryptocurrency malware. I mean, there's so much stuff that we didn't get to. Firefox has a voice-only browser. Today's winner is Greg. Congratulations, Greg. You got yourself a $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate. Don't miss the After Schrock coming up next on Facebook, and we'll see you next week for another edition of Compute This.
From the Millard Roofing Studios, we've got you covered. This is News Radio 1110 KFAB, Omaha, an iHeart radio station.